So we'll start with the protocol list. Thankfully, it's not very long. Honorable Philip J. Pierre, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Minister for Finance, Economic Development and the Youth Economy, and Minister for Justice and National Security. Honorable Dr. Ernest Hille, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Investment, Creative Industry, Culture and Information. Honorable Gibeon Ferdinand, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information. Any other members of Cabinet, although I don't think I see any. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Ms. Anne Margaret Adams, the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information. Any other permanent secretaries? Chairpersons and CEOs of sister agencies, including the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center. I'll make an insertion here if there's anyone from the National Reparations Committee. The St. Lucia Tourism Authority, Export St. Lucia, the Events Company of St. Lucia, and the Community Tourism Agency. Mr. Darwin Gard, a chairperson of the Cultural Development Foundation, and the management and staff of the Cultural Development Foundation. Specially invited guests, the Emancipation Creative Committee and stakeholders, that would include myself, members of the media, which also includes myself. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome. So I have opening remarks, which will be very brief. I would like to welcome you all, to welcome change and transformation, to not just let the theme be words that we forget by next year, but to ensure that we take every single opportunity we can to create a pathway to the future by letting St. Lucia's history and by letting St. Lucia's past inform our actions and choices. If Ms. Henry is ready, I would like to move to the national anthem of St. Lucia, performed by Ms. Marissa Henry, a violinist. Next, we have the Invocation Song by Ms. Jasenia William.
Good afternoon, everybody. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. It's gonna trouble the water.
So next we will be moving into a highlight video of Emancipation celebrations from 2022 to 2024. To remind you all that, the CDF and its partner agencies do good work, and do serious work.
About me finally feeling free.
What a day when the well run dry and the children ask you why.
Like a bridge over troubled waters,
I will lay me down.
They need to learn about their roots and culture and of their motherland, Africa.
is the African delay. Shaka Zulu.
We will unveil what I believe are masterpieces, and for us to see more of that in St. Lucia. This government remains very supportive of those initiatives.
Mais ouais, ça y fait baiser, moi. Nous qu'à y faire by us, ouais. On fait un mouvement. Bêtise. Nous fait un bagay. Nous qu'à y faire un bagay. On fait un mouvement. On soit. Tiwe. Ici, à nous.
Why has it come to this? Why has it come to murdering my own people? Let it be known that on this day, on this hill, the brigands defeated the British.
Emancipation is that safe haven for the soul. And in my imagination, I am the place that my soul goes to know itself.
All right, so we'll be moving to the remarks given by the executive director of the CDF, Mrs. Ramona Henry Wynn. Is she ready?
It is a distinct honor to welcome you to the launch of our National Emancipation Observance, guided this year by a timely and powerful theme: understanding our past to create a pathway for the future. This is not a passive theme. It is an invitation, a charge, to connect our history to our purpose, to transform memory into movement, and to acknowledge that our progress as a people depends on how deeply we understand our journey. For us at the Cultural Development Foundation, emancipation is not simply a date on the calendar. It is a vital part of our identity, our mission, and our mandate. We are charged with preserving culture, but more than that, we are here to build cultural capacity, raise awareness, and change mindsets. Because what is freedom if people don't have the tools to express it? What is emancipation if we are still confined by systems of dependency, invisibility, or silence? Our strategy for cultural development includes training and equipping artists, creatives, and community leaders to become agents of change. Instilling cultural confidence in our youth through stories, traditions, and platforms that reflect who they are. Transforming mindsets so that we see ourselves not as victims of history, but as visionaries of the future. This is the pathway we are creating, grounded in resilience of our ancestors, but driven by possibilities of today. As we reflect on our past, let us do so not with bowed heads, but with lifted hearts, because our story is one of survival, but more than that, it is a story of strength. Let us be clear. Emancipation is not finished business. It is ongoing work. It is personal. It is cultural and national. And that work now rests in our hands, all of us. We owe it to our ancestors to move beyond survival, but to thrive. We owe it to our children to build a nation where freedom is felt in every voice, every dance, every drumbeat, every dream. So as we step into emancipation season, let us do so with a clear understanding of where we've been, a bold vision of where we're going, and the courage to walk that path together. Let us not just celebrate emancipation, let us embody it. Thank you.
All right, and one of the ways that we can embody emancipation is to ensure that we move our bodies a little bit to our next musical performance, which will be by Herb Black.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for Emancipation launching this afternoon. Very important time for all black people. So let me see you do the boogie yaga, boogie yaga, boogie yaga, boogie yaga. Whoa, oh. Tell me how could a cow, one cow, jump over the moon, this moon? Well, this is exactly how one student questioned me one afternoon after school, putting to test his learning ability, 'cause he don't want to be a fool. He asked how could a dish, one dish, ran away with a spoon, one spoon? All of these nursery rhymes and those fairy tales are rhyming just for rhyme's sake. It's time to teach the children reality, because school ain't no place for fake. You see, there's no time for storybooks where only stories are told. This is the time for reality, so let black history unfold. Teach them more about the slave trade and the slaying of their ancestors. They need to learn about the roots and culture and of the motherland Africa. Ah, 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 yeah. Children, children, it's reality time again. Oh, yes. It's time to breathe in some consciousness in our people. Yeah, man. It's our culture. So let me see you do the boogie yaga, boogie yaga, boogie yaga, boogie yaga. Whoa, oh, hey. Tell me how could a man, one man, fly like a bat, one bat? He then handed over to me a comic book, telling me, Hub, take a look. I'd like to know if Batman is my hero or is he just another crook. He asked, how could a mouse, one mouse, frighten a cat, one cat? All of these cartoons and animation are meant for washing one's brain. And if this is what the youths begin to learn, I'm afraid we should think again. You see, there's no time for storybooks where only stories are told. This is the time for reality. So let black history unfold. Teach them more about the slave trade and the slaying of the ancestors. They need to learn about the roots and culture and of the motherland Africa. Do you agree? Ah, yeah. Children, children, it's reality time again. Oh, yes. Yeah, for the interest of time, we cannot do the whole song. We'll have to go back to the other one. We'll have to go to the next one because we're doing 3 tracks this afternoon. This one is a special dedication to all black people of African descent. Yeah, man. Time to stand up. The Reversion lectures at the open campus, of course, for me was a plus. International Decade for Peoples of African Descent. It makes sense to stand up and represent. But from what I heard St. Lucian say on Street Vibes on DBS, my impression is some people don't want redress. I vex with slavery, some couldn't care less. Black man, stop falling down. Black man, get up off the ground. Black man, buckle your shoe. You have plenty work to do. Black man, open your eyes. Black man, you must realize. Black man, it's time to be wise, and you don't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise, black man. Oh no. Now listen. It is a part of our history. It is exactly who we are. There's no doubt. It's our identity. It's rooted in our culture, lined in our ancestry. That is how the Creator meant it to be. But when a black man says he's not African cause he's born in St. Lucia and don't want to hear nothing but no forefather, for sure something's wrong with this black brother. Black man, stop falling down. Black man, get up off the ground. Black man, buckle your shoe. You have plenty work to do. Black man, open your eyes. Black man, you must realize. Black man, it's time to be wise, and you don't have to compromise. You don't have to compromise, black man. Oh no. I want to ask a question. It is because of our education, are we brainwashed with what we learn? Tell me, are we taught the truth? Why we stand against reparations and we show so little concern for the undisputed proof? If the Jews get compensation for what Germans do to them for slavery, why can't Europe do the same? Till then, reparations I man proclaim. Black man, stop falling down. Black man, get up off the ground. Black man, buckle your shoe. You have plenty work to do. Black man, open your eyes. Black man, you must realize. Black man, it's time to be wise, and you don't have to compromise. Yeah, Mr. DJ, give me the next track. Interest of time, saving. Thank you so much. Now this one is one I think all of you guys know. Yeah, man. La de la da de la da de la da de da die. Yeah, man. Mr. Bossman got angry for so, and tell me don't come to work no more. Lay da da die. He started cursing me, calling me all kinds of stupidity, telling me I am nothing else but lazy. Well, I do work, I want to make it clear, so very clear. The bossman is playing the game unfair. Lay da da die. As far as I see, one day's work is peanut money. I asked the boss, I raised the boss want to fire me. Say one day's work, buy me a pants. One day's work, buy me a shoe. One day's work, buy me a shoe. Boss, tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work, buy me a pants. No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work, buy me a shoe. Boss, what the hell the workers go do? I do be lumba lumba le. La de la da de la da de la da de da die. Yeah, man. That is why we have to emancipate ourselves. Me and the bossman, we would agree. If he was facing it rough like me. Lay da da die. If he had to stay without his transport money today, hiking every ride passing on the highway. Well, and if when he get the kakada, not even one t-shirt is up one. Lay da da die. He would say the same, only then would my bossman complain. Only then the boss would feel what I'm feeling. Because one day's work, buy me a pants. One day's work, buy me a shirt. One day's work, buy me a shoe. Boss, tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work, buy me a pants. No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work, buy me a shoe. Boss, what the hell the workers go do? I do be lumba lumba le. La de la da de la da de la da de da die. Let me take this time to wish all St. Lucians happy emancipation. I mean, I'm working for the whole week, I still have to play my friends hide and seek. Lay da da die. Because the change I get, I can't afford to give nothing yet. Not even enough to buy them a cigarette. Well, when I got the job, man, I was so glad, so very glad. I thought now I work, things won't be too bad. Lay da da die. But oh, what misery, my trials and crosses now I see. I must overwork to care for my family. Because one day's work can buy me a pants. One day's work can buy me a shoe. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But tell me what you want me to do. And one day's work can buy me a... No, it can buy me a shirt. One day's work can buy me a shoe. But what the hell the workers go do? Thank you so very much. Love you people. Looking forward to being with you all the time. Thank you.
So we're moving gingerly along to remarks by Dr. Ernest Sile, the Minister for Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture. That was not in order. Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, and Culture. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremony. Let me recognize the presence of the Honorable Prime Minister, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Chairman of the CDF, and of course, the Director of the CDF, Ambassador, other special invited guests. Am I missing? Father Anthony Monsignor, Father Anthony, Madam Principal. I think my eyes are still a little closed, so you need to forgive me. You know, Black sang one day's work, and the Prime Minister and I just exchanged with each other. It's songs like that that inspired us to make sure we had a minimum wage, make sure that, you know, pensioners' monies will go up this month, Prime Minister, or is it next month? In July, and from the 1st of August, removing VAT on over 70 items. It's because we really appreciated songs like this, which were really representative of how people felt. But my role this afternoon is a very simple one. I want to start off by, first of all, really commending the CDF under the leadership of Chairman Andrinia. I saw her somewhere around to really say a very special thank you for the exceptional work that you've done for the first 3 years. That when in 2021, we made a very bold statement after July 26 that we did not ever want under our watch for Emancipation Day to be celebrated at the low-key and almost insignificant level that it was celebrated in the past, that we wanted a more meaningful celebration of emancipation. And of course, as a government, we put the resources of the state behind to make sure it happened. And we call on the CDF to ensure that a program is put in place that can best represent what emancipation is about and its significance to our society. And you saw the video which captured the 3 years previously. And I'm sure those of you who were there on the very first year for that concert we had on the waterfront, some of us will probably never forget it and the impact that it had on us. But then the broad theme was about rekindling our consciousness. There's really a call to St. Lucians to start thinking about emancipation and what it means and its significance. And we've ended that 3-year program, and we're now about to start another. And of course, you would see on the screen what the theme is. And it is very telling. It really calls upon all of us St. Lucians to understand our past. And Herb Black referred to it in his songs. It's about we understanding that past and for us to prepare the pathway for the future. The best way for us to build a more prosperous future for our people is for us to understand the context in which we exist and the meaning of our existence. And some of us would reflect on some of the happenings in the last couple of months. We had a visit of the president of Nigeria. And I'll tell you, it was really painful to read some of the postings and listen to some of the talk shows and to hear some individuals actually try to make us ashamed of the fact that we were promoting Africa, we were promoting blackness and Pan-Africanism. And you had to ask the question, why? Why are we doing that? Why are we not proud of that heritage? We're not only descendants of Africa, there are other influences in our society, but we are a dominant society. That is the legacy of Africa in many ways. And we should all have been proud of the fact that we will welcome into our shores the president of the largest black nation on earth. And for some people, it was an opportunity to almost, question the necessity of doing such and to even chastise the leadership of the country for doing so and to malign, Africa and Pan-Africanism and our support. But that will not daunt us, that will not stop us, because we believe deep down inside, the best way we can create a pathway for the future is to understand the past, where we came from, what it means to us, and how it defines who we are as a people. So you will see our continued support and promotion of relationships with African and African countries. And I'm looking forward for us in the creative sector and the cultural space to make that link with Africa even more meaningful than it has ever been before. Because I believe if we can build that bridge, if we can build that relationship, our people can be the better for it. So as I look forward to the program for the next 3 years, which will be announced after I speak, I'm looking forward to another exciting program. I think I have a sense of what's on the program, so I don't want to say too much because it will be revealed to you. But it is really an attempt to incorporate other cultural elements into our celebration. And let me just share something with you quickly. And I spoke to FRC about it, and they sent me a proposal. We've agreed to do some research. Now, those of you remember during Carnival, there was a lecture on Carnival, and most of us attended. Well, quite a few persons there attended. And it spoke about, Carnival and the history of Carnival and whatnot. A beautiful lecture. But afterwards, I opined to Ember Charles and a couple individuals that the narrative of Carnival is probably a northern, narrative. It's an urban, Castries-centric narrative of Carnival and what it means. And we really have to do some research on it. If you ask who are the best band leaders we've had in St. Lucia, they only speak of persons from Castries and Grosselet. You ask about the bands, and everything is always the same, set of persons. And I was saying to them, we've been trying to get the community carnivals to a different level. And we've been pushing them to have their celebrations before the national celebration, the national parade. And almost all the communities keep pushing us back to the first week of August, Emancipation Day, first, 2nd of August. And all of them keep saying to us, that's the traditional day they know for decades past when Carnival was celebrated in their communities. And even Library that's coming back now from this year, I try to convince them, come organize your Carnival before the National Parade. And they insisted, historically, Carnival was always August 1st in Library. And it set me thinking, is there a relationship between Emancipation and Carnival? And I'm talking about People's Carnival, the real, People's Carnival. And is Carnival really, in St. Lucia, only a pre-Lenten event? Or was that something that came out of a particular historical context in the north of the island, as against all in the communities? And I think it is something we're going to research to find out if there is really a deeper link between emancipation and community carnivals and carnival in St. Lucia. Not that there cannot be two narratives, they can be. But maybe we are forgetting one and we're focusing only on one. And I think we decided then to just let the communities do what they want. If they want to celebrate on August the 1st, August the 2nd, let them do so. Because if that's their date, that's their historical, period, let it be. And I'm saying that again to tell you why this is so important, understanding our past, understanding how emancipation has impacted us, understand how it has shaped who we are. And I'm hoping that the program that will be unveiled for this year is going to make a statement about that. It's an exciting program from what I've seen, and I'm looking forward to the team at CDF implementing the program and really making it meaningful. I again urge that we find a way to make sure as many St. Lucians as possible are touched by the activities of Emancipation Month. We need to popularize it. In as much as we've made jazz so popular, Carnival so popular, we need Creole Heritage Month so popular, we need to. It's only 3 years we've really had a structured celebration of Emancipation Month. But let's push harder. Let's really strive to make it more ingrained and embedded in our psyche that we must celebrate Emancipation and Emancipation Month. So thank you to all the stakeholders, CDF, the Rastafarian community, the FRC, all the stakeholders that are participating in this celebration. Thank you so very much for all of this, and to the Prime Minister for his continued support for the celebration of Emancipation Month. So thank you very much, and let's look forward to the program.
Okay, yes, we will be moving on to the program of Emancipation Celebrations calendar for 2025 for anybody who could hear, for anybody who could see, if you're interested, make sure you either come closer or follow the CDF on Instagram, on Facebook, or YouTube and TikTok. All right, thank you.
To move forward, we must first look back. This emancipation season, St. Lucia reflects under the theme Understanding Our Past to create a pathway for the future. The upcoming commemorative activities are as follows. Thursday, July 24th, launch of the Emancipation Celebration activities at Anchorage Car Park, Jean-Baptiste Street from Monday, July 28th to Friday, August 8th. Our Stories, Emancipation Theatre outreach with performances island-wide. Monday, July 28th, Emancipation Lecture on NTN, exploring the themes of identity, history, and future possibilities. Tuesday 31st, Light It Up, the lighting ceremony of Emancipation Murals, Jean-Baptiste Street, Castries. Thought-provoking panel discussions will be held on NTN throughout July and August. On Emancipation Day, Friday, August 1st, we celebrate with sounding of the bells, the ringing of church bells island-wide on Emancipation Morning. A rebroadcast of Emancipation Lecture on NTN. A Rosocade, an island-wide motorcade of Lawar's groups, a mass dance mini-street parade and concert on the William Peter Boulevard, Castries. The Breadfruit Festival at the Anglican Church Annex. An Emancipation historical treasure hunt from Grosley to Soufriere. On Monday, August 4th, documentary of street names, the history of the names of St. Lucian districts. Saturday, August 9th, Marcus Garvey Market Day and Exhibition in collaboration with the Ayanola Council of the Advancement of Rastafari, ICAR, at the Castries Market. Monday, August 18th, the press conference introducing history curriculum in schools. Thursday and Friday, August 21st and 22nd, Emancipation, a youth debate on NTN. Saturday, August 23rd, conversations on legacy, the bust of Petroni Dwin, Denry Village, and finally on August 30th, Lawar's Festival, Guanfet in Lavery.
laissez maman moi pas ni maman, laissez maman moi Afrique, laissez maman moi, Migeyango, laissez maman moi pas ni maman, laissez maman moi, laissez maman moi, laissez maman moi pas ni maman, laissez maman moi Afrique, laissez maman Migeyango, laissez maman moi pas ni maman, laissez maman 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 solo.
So that was a performance by actually two musical groups, Lapo Kabwit and Genesis. We really appreciate the sound, the vibration, the ambience that they provided to our launch today. Okay, I'm moving towards the end of the agenda. I'd like to call Ms. Drenia Frederick, the creative producer at the CDF.
It's with great pleasure and gratitude that I stand here to give a vote of thanks for the launching of Emancipation. First and foremost, the Cultural Development Foundation extends its heartfelt appreciation to our Prime Minister, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, for the foresight and the vision in terms of the development of Emancipation as a sort of catalyst for change, and we would like to thank you for that. The government of St. Lucia, the Minister of Creative Industries, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, for his unwavering support in terms of the activities of CDF and his support of CDF and for Emancipation. And I must say, his belief in the process. Thank you, Minister. And to our sponsors who have been with us from inception, even when we look at the murals, Harris Paints, Sherwin-Williams, Lucilec, who has been a champion in terms of culture and the promotion of culture, and Sagicor. We'd like to say thank you for the support and commitment in being instrumental in making emancipation possible. Our collaborators, we have a long list of collaborators and agencies, partners, for your invaluable dedication, your shared vision, and really pushing this historical milestone. Emancipation in St. Lucia is what I call a profound chapter in our history. It marks the end of centuries of slavery, symbolizing our freedom, our resilience, and our indomitable spirit to go beyond what I call surviving. And speaking of indomitable spirit, the foundation would like to thank all its hard-working staff, collaborators, events, logistics, production, sound, screen, and its creative committee. And of course, the residents of Jabasti Street, and of course, you, St. Lucia. Thank you to the management of Anchorage for allowing us to use this venue. The idea was to allow the public in on the process of emancipation because it is a people's activity. As we continue to celebrate emancipation, let us remember this year's theme, understanding our past to create a pathway for the future. Once again, thank you for all being here and your support, and of course, your commitment to our heritage and to our future. Thank you.
All right, so when you scan the QR codes, you are to point your cameras to the murals in our environs, and that is where you will see the effect.
So it is an interactive mural. You are to see the images moving, and it is a public affair. Anyone in the public can scan the QR code on the screen. If you need to go a little closer to the murals, you can. This is part of a project where the codes will be placed on the murals so persons can interact with it every day. You can hear the voice of Petroni, our formerly enslaved heroine. I'm suggesting you can even go across the road and scan to ensure that you are able to see the animated murals.